yourself, yourself. Hey!
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have some faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
Don't rearrange, no need to change. Stay like you are. Keep it all the same. But as you move along in your life, keep an open mind. And don't forget that if you gotta do something, believe in yourself, yourself, yourself.
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have some faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
When you feel tight, look at yourself.
Inside your heart, you will find a special place to unwind.
When you feel right, look at yourself.
Inside your mind, you see connected eternity.
When you feel tight, look at yourself.
Inside your heart, you will find a special place to unwind.
When you feel right, look at yourself.
Inside your mind, you will see connected eternity.
Finally, we can relate. Our side by side is fate. I knew all along we'd find some way to communicate.
doesn't matter who is wrong and who is right. Well, I don't look back, I don't need to. Time won't wait, and I've got so much to do. Where do I stop now? It's all a blur, so unclear. Well, I don't know, but I can't be wrong. It doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside drives me to run and fight. Face all your bets on the one you think is right. Oh, it doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside tries me to run and fight. It doesn't matter who is wrong and who is right. No, 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 no. It doesn't matter.
It's your main man Knuckles, and we're Media Herd. You ready to go in space? Help me get the emeralds.
Hello, hello, hello. Looks like I need to turn the music down a bit. Hello, hello. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the first stream of the year. We've got in front of us a lot of Sonic in 2023. Oh yeah. Gonna be a lot more in 2024 as well. Stay tuned for Sonic Tuesdays. Nope, haven't done Generations yet. Going through them all in release order. All the games in release order. Sonic Tuesdays. Almost every Tuesday this year, hopefully. had a lot of hiatuses on that show last year, a lot more than I wanted, but yeah, we're doing all of them. Gonna do all of them. Also, welcome. Hello. Love Generations, just wish we got in stages of DLC instead of a pinball game. I don't think I've ever played the DLC. I've actually never beaten Generations. Which I know it's a very short game, so that's shocking. But don't worry, once we get to it on Sonic Tuesday, I will. It's the only Sonic game you've ever beaten. Wow. Well, I've got a lot of them here, and we'll get to it in a moment. First though, happy New Year. Welcome. First stream of the year. Very exciting. Took a few weeks off at the end of last year. Just got really busy. Lots of stuff. Ooh, hold on a second. Sorry, I just noticed the other chat. That other chat is back there as well. Get that out of get that out of there. We don't need that. I'm glad I noticed that. Sometimes this one doesn't work, so I have that other one ready, but the layer's supposed to be invisible when I'm not using it. Yeah, so for stream of the year, got some small changes coming this year. I plan to cut back a little bit the amount I stream. I used to stream 4 days a week, and that worked pretty well for me, but this last year I got a little bit of burnout here and there, way more frequently than I would like, and also just gonna be going through some life changes. I'm taking on other non-stream projects that I want to be able to put more time into. I want to be able to spend more time with the people around me. So I'm gonna cut back to 3 streams a week. It's not a huge change. But yeah, that's sort of the plan. That's the update I've got for all of you. Cutting down on those. Probably I think Mondays are gonna be the days that I'm cutting out of the schedule, but things might shift around. I might, figure out that a certain schedule works better for me. But for right now, the plan is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays going into this year, and we'll see how that works for me. There's still a lot of stuff I want to stream, so it is, we're gonna get through that slower, but also hopefully not really slower, because I won't be burning out and taking big hiatuses so much. So I think that'll balance it out, sort of. Anyway, that's out of the way. What we're doing today is I have right here a tier list ready to go of every game that I beat in 2023. Not every game I played, because some games I feel like it would be unfair to judge them without finishing them. I'm like barely into Baldur's Gate 3. So that's the metric I set, as I had to complete the game in 2023. Which in most cases means rolling credits. Not always, but most cases, that's what that means. This does exclude some games I played that don't really have endings, but I also feel that those can be a bit harder to compare with all of this. So, I have them here in the order that I completed them through the year, and we're just gonna go through and we're gonna do a tier list. I think this will be a lot of fun. So very first up, we have Sonic 1. Sonic 1. I mean, what a classic, right? Of course, it's not perfect by any means. It certainly got refined later down the line, but it introduced, such an iconic character, and it's a good game. Rebeat Katamari Damacy reroll. Beat the final boss of the current World of Warcraft expansion. I assume that's what you mean by WoW. Nice. Nice. Basically it for you this year. Also on the last stage of Broforce. I think I've heard of Broforce. I don't really know much about it. Yeah, we got, I think this is 60 games here. Now, these definitely range in length. So we have things as short as like Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World, which is like a 30-minute game, or fucking I Expect You to Die Home Sweet Home is like a 15-minute game even. And then we have, much longer titles. March 3, Spider-Man, Fallout New Vegas. So, a lot of variety. Obviously a lot of Sonic, just because of Sonic Tuesday. But yeah. Anyway. Sonic 1. Really good platformer. The ending, the last few levels get kind of bullshit. I think I can comfortably place this in... Oh, I'm fighting between A and B. B just feels too low, but A feels too high. I'm gonna go with B. B is good. I think B is solid. In fact, you know what? Just to make me feel better about that, Oh, hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Put that back how it was. Add a row below. There we go. We're gonna make an F tier. Why is this background color different? Hold on. Hold on. There we go. There we go. New Vegas, which route did I go? I went Yes Man. That was my first ever playthrough, by the way. Okay. I feel more comfortable placing that in B when we have an F. So, next, Paper Mario is so fun. I loved Paper Mario. I most of my playthrough, did I send the ghouls to the moon? I might have. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly. I remember launching a rocket. I think I did. Paper Mario. Most of my playthrough of Paper Mario took place in 2022, but I beat it in 2023. So it goes on here. But that also means I don't have the strongest memory of it at the moment. But I do remember having a great time with it. It was an absolute delight. I loved the world building. I loved the aesthetic, the gameplay. It's great. It's really, really good. It's not quite S tier, but I am going to put it in A tier. I can very, very comfortably put it in A tier. It's a solid RPG, has a fun story, such a unique take on Mario, especially, you know, for the time. They hadn't really done big story stuff like this. I mean, they have Mario RPG, which the remake is in my backlog. I am excited for the Thousand Year Door remaster. I was actually before they announced it, I was sort of lamenting that I wouldn't really get a chance to properly play it, just because it hadn't been re-released. It's so expensive to get a copy now. And then they're like, "Hey, remaster, remake, whichever it is." I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, hell yeah! I will absolutely get that." Whether or not I stream it, entirely up in the air. It just kind of depends on what happens. I don't like to commit to streaming too many games because there's so many. But about to break down and buy the GameCube title off eBay like 2 weeks before they confirmed the remake. Whew. Good thing you held out on that. Yeah, I'm very excited. I loved Paper Mario. I'm excited to play Thousand Year Door. Eventually Super Paper Mario. And from my understanding, stop there. From what I hear. Next we have the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. That game stinks. Oh, then I go play Bug Fables. Okay. I've heard good things about that. 8-bit Sonic 1 stinks. It's sloppy. It's not a good experience. I don't even know like what else to say about it. I don't like it. Actually, you know what? I'm remembering a bit more of it. It's fine. It's just frustrating. No, it's fine. I don't like it though, but it's fine. But this whole point is my opinions. So what am I doing? Why am I overthinking it? It goes there. I don't like it. I'm going back and forth on it. And fighting with myself about it. And I'm thinking about some of the other stuff we have on here, and I think C is fair. I think C is fair for that. I Expect You to Die, Home Sweet Home. That is a mixed reality title on the Oculus Quest, and it's got some neat ideas. You play as this sort of spy and you solve some puzzles, but they're like actually set up in whatever room you're in. Like it uses the cameras of the Quest to place you in your own environment. Of course, I played this on a 2, so a little less immersive when your environment is only being captured in black and white cameras, but it has some really cool ideas, and I just wish there were more than 3 puzzles in it. Because like even like just an hour-long game, like it doesn't have to be like a full 60-hour AAA game. I don't expect that, especially not from anything VR is doing. But just something a little more. There were all these cool ideas that I remember having so much fun with, and then you do one puzzle with them. It doesn't build on any of what it has, and it felt like a demo. That's what it is. It felt like a demo, but it's not. It's pushed as its own thing, and because of that, I have to put it in D, because it just doesn't deliver on anything. So yeah, I was very disappointed with that. I needed more out of it, and it just wasn't there. Next, Goat Simulator 3. Okay. So, this might be a little controversial. I don't know. I would have loved this like 5 years ago, maybe. It's silly. It's fun. They built a lot out of the original and like added some new stuff, and it's a fun time. But it also feels so dated. It's just all its type of humor comes from the first game, you know, which came out 2012. Like at the time it came out, it's 10-year-old humor at that point. It's not. It's dated. That's all it is. Goat Simulator 3 feels dated with its jokes, and the more I've sat with it, the more I've realized that, like, because you can go back, you can see my VODs of it, because I streamed that one. I thought it was funny at the time, but I wasn't loving it, and as I've sat more on it, I've just been like, yeah, it's not. It's just dated. That's I keep trying to find a different way to say it, but that's the best I have for it. And it's such a streamer bait game. You know? That's the thing. I didn't get anything out of it that I couldn't get from just watching a different streamer play it. And I think it was just made so that people could make content of it. You know? Which one? C or D? Let me give it C, because it did still have a lot of creative stuff in it. It just didn't do that much great stuff with it. And it didn't do anything that really like stands out, and like, I don't know. I feel like I'm having a hard time articulating my thoughts on this one, but it's too late for it. It's too late for it. Sonic 2 8-bit. We have the 8-bit version here, the 16-bit version here. The 8-bit version here goes right here. This may be the fucking one of the worst Sonic games ever, and that's saying something. That is saying something, because Sonic has some stinkers. But 8-bit Sonic 2 sucks, especially on the Game Gear, because the Game Gear, it's so zoomed in on it. Like, at least if I was playing like the Master System version, I'd get a bit more screen real estate. But on this one, it controls like shit, and because it's so zoomed in, you can't really tell where you're going or what's coming at you. I'm getting frustrated just thinking about it. It is awful. It's terrible. It's not how you make a platformer. It isn't. It sucks. It's bad. 16-bit Sonic 2 though. Well, that goes up an A. That easily goes up an A. I love the true Sonic 2, the proper Sonic 2. This fucking, faker here. I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. This is garbage. This is garbage. This belongs in the trash. This, mwah, mwah, mwah. Put it up on the pedestal. The real Sonic 2. I mean, it came out fucking, 30 something years ago. What can I add? What can I add to the conversation that hasn't already been said? It's a master class in 2D platforming. Like, the level designs are on point. Tails as a character being added in there is a great addition. I love all of it. I just, yeah. Anyway, it's so good. But you know what? This is gonna absolutely be controversial when I say this. When I say what I'm about to say. I like Sonic CD more. Sonic CD is my favorite classic Sonic game. Now, I don't think it belongs in S tier. I'm still gonna put it here in A tier, alongside Sonic 2, because it doesn't like surpass it extremely. I just personally like it a bit more. I think the levels are really fun to run around in. I love the music in it. I think the bosses have some of the most creative designs. Now, I understand why some people are not... Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna adjust my camera a bit because I keep popping out of the... There we go. That's better. I absolutely understand why a lot of Sonic fans will disagree with me on that one. It's for the fans who like to 100% everything. It's awful for that, and I will fully happily admit that. It's designed so terribly if you want to 100% it. But here's the thing, I don't. I don't want to 100% it. I don't care about 100%ing it. I just start it and finish it. I go through it and I have a good time, and I love it, and it's my favorite classic Sonic. That's probably going to be the hottest take I give today, but we'll see. We'll see. There's still plenty more time for some more hot takes. Sonic Chaos. Okay. So here's the thing. Sonic Chaos and where is it? And Sonic Triple Trouble. I am having a hard time differentiating between the two of them right now. They're very similar games. I mean, Triple Trouble is a sequel to Chaos, and so just to help remind myself a bit, I'm gonna look at some screenshots. No, not the character Chaos. Yeah, okay, Sonic Chaos. Well, that's not how you type that. Screenshots. I need a bit of a refresher. Okay. Yeah. I'm comfortable putting that in a B. It's... Ooh, why am I snapping around? Okay. I mean, we good? We're good. Yeah, it's a solid handheld platformer, actually designed for the Game Gear this time. So, yeah, it doesn't have those sorts of issues of the screen real estate and all that. It's designed for the hardware you play it on. And of course, you know, maybe my opinions of these two would be slightly different if I played them on Master System, but I didn't. I played them on Game Gear, and they're poorly optimized for that, especially Sonic 2. So, I don't have much to say on Sonic Chaos. It didn't leave the biggest impression, but I do remember liking it. Now Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I just have them both together. This is Sonic 3 and Knuckles because they are one game, and that's how I played it. I played it in Sonic Origins. They're locked on. It's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This also goes in B. It's good. It's good. Remember, B is still good. B. Okay. See, S is fucking amazing. You know, A+, whatever. A is really good. B is good. C is like, it's alright. D is bad, and F is awful. Right? So this is still good. I like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but I think it is a downgrade from Sonic 2. I think the length of it actually goes against it. I think it's too long for a simple 2D platformer, and it gets a little too ambitious for itself at times. But I still love it. It's still such a great game. And another thing that final boss can eat my nuts. It's yeah. It's gonna stay in B. Because I just remembered the final boss, and I got mad about it again. WarioWare. Mega Micro Games. I played that on the Switch expansion pack thing. Going through the GBA games on there, and yeah, it is a solid minigame collection. I feel like I can't really give it higher than B just because it doesn't, connect all of it together, and that's fine. It does, it does a really good job with it. It just, it's one thing, then the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. You can't really linger on any of it. Can't really linger on any one mechanic. And I get it. That's how it's designed. That's what the game is. That's the point. But and it does it well. It just also doesn't leave it. I couldn't name a single minigame from it right now. I remember having fun playing pretty much all of them, but I could not name a single one or describe it to you. And I think that's why it can't go any higher than B. But what about Crisis Core Reunion? Now, I have not played the original Crisis Core on PSP, so I do not have that to compare to. But for me, playing this on PlayStation 5, it was very, very clear that this was originally a handheld game that I'm playing on home console now. The way it's built, you know, the whole mission structure, all of it. It's so clearly a handheld game. And it's harder to get over some of the compromises that have to be made for mobile, or not mobile, for handheld when you're playing on console. It just, the pacing is rough because of it. The text that, you know, there's the original had a lot of text-based cutscenes, and here they have been voice acted, but they're still very structured of just, there's this person standing there, and there's that person standing there, and there's very few where they're actually doing anything in the cutscene. And there's a lot of it. And comparing it to the original cutscenes, because I've seen some of the original cutscenes, the voice acting is not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Not as not enthusiastic. That doesn't sound right, but it's just not as good. I didn't want to just say not as good, but I couldn't think of what I was actually trying to say. So we'll go with that. It's not as good in the voice acting department. Still had a fun time with it, and I think B is fair. I think B is fair for that. Spider-Man, PS1 Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a fun time. Also B. I think it's gonna be a lot of B, which I think is good. I think that's fair. Obviously aged in places, but it is a good time. It is a very good time. I would play it again right now. You know. It's fun. I can see where like a lot of the groundwork gets laid for later Spider-Man games. They have it's I love how like it's really built around the pre-existing comic world. We get all these like fun little cameos. You know, here's the Punisher, there's Daredevil, and so many villains that like really feel like they're comic counterparts. And yeah, it's like you were just thrown into an issue of the comic. It's a good time. Sonic Triple Trouble, I'm just gonna kind of reiterate what I said about Sonic Chaos and put it in B. Knuckles Chaotix, I think gets a C. Yeah, it gets a C. It's hard for me to like actually really judge it, because I did cheese my way through the game. I played as Charmy, and playing as Charmy is basically the easy mode. on this game. But it's cool. I like the aesthetics of it. You know, it's a good time, but it has some just weird contrivances. You know, the way you select a level, where it's like, no, it doesn't just feed you through a line of levels like a normal game does. You have to every time you're about to go into a level, you have to randomly picks which zone you're going to go to. It's just that's bizarre to me. You don't really like get to pick your partner character. It has all these weird little things about it that just put it down there. Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro is D tier. It's D tier. It's so clearly rushed to be like, hey, let's get a sequel to that Spider-Man game that people liked. There's like 3 villains in it. They just use a lot of bullshit design to artificially extend the game. I don't like it. I do not like Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. I don't like it. It's not good. Oh, you know what? You know when I said this is gonna be the most controversial thing I said today? I forgot how shitty people can get about this game. That goes right there. It goes right there, and I'm not afraid to say it. I think it's a really good time. It's hard to talk about without going like super heavy into spoilers. Just cause like, but if you've played it, you know a very big thing happens early on, and it upset a lot of people. I think it was a very solid story decision, and I love what it leads to, and I think the character development and character studies of the leads in that game is very well done. I love the way it uses perspective to tell its story. It's so hard to talk about without spoiling, but I know it's been out for a few years, but like there's a show now, and the show hasn't gotten to that game yet. So I don't wanna, you know, I don't wanna get into it for the people who are only following with the show. But yeah, I really like it, and it deserves that A spot. It's very well done. Very, very well done. I would also put part 1 up here as well. I don't have it here because I didn't beat it in 2023, but I'd put it up there as well, just to clarify that. Tails Sky Patrol, I think goes in C. It's such a weird one, because it's not even like, it was not designed with Tails in mind, is the thing. And it's so like it was originally just this completely other game, and then I forget exactly how it happened, but Sega got a hold of it, or it went to Sega, something, and they were just kind of like, hey, let's reskin it with Tails, sell it as a Sonic game. And it feels like, it doesn't feel like it belongs in Sonic. The only really element of the game that even evokes Sonic is Tails himself. All the other characters just do not feel like they belong in that world. But it's not bad. It's weird. It is a weird style of gameplay, but I mean, you can get used to it eventually, and it's super short, so it's not really intrusive in any way, I don't think. It's just kind of a weird oddity in the series. Resident Evil 2 Remake, I think, Is this our first S tier? Oh. Resident Evil 2 Remake is so good. I don't know if it deserves the S tier, though. Oh, this is our first S tier. I really have to think about it. I replayed it this past year in anticipation of Resident Evil 4 Remake. Because I was very excited for it. This was my first Resident Evil game, and I think it makes a perfect first impression. That's the thing too. I'm trying to judge it off of my initial playthrough, because on a replay, when you know what you're doing, it does not really have the same impact. Yeah, that's our first S tier. Resident Evil 2 Remake is our first S tier. It's so good. It's so fucking good. The horror elements of it. It is a horror game. Wow, way to really be descriptive. No, the enemy AI is scary. It's especially, you get to Mr. X, and the atmosphere is so well done. The story's really solid. Leon and Claire here's the thing. I am not a fan, and not in a way that I don't like it, but I just am not a fan of Resident Evil as a whole. I'm a fan of Leon and Claire. When one of them is in a game, I'll play it, or in a fucking canon movie or the show. They had Infinite Darkness. When they're in something, I'll play that. Because I love those protagonists. And Resident Evil 2 establishes them so well in a way to make you really care about them. And so I have to give it S tier for the way it hooked me into the series so quickly. Yeah. I love it. I think it's an S tier. Next, we have Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. We finally finished out, or not finished, because the series is still going, but we caught up on Kingdom Hearts this year on stream, this past year. I have now streamed every Kingdom Hearts game, which is something I had started in my first year of streaming, but it was very intermittent, and I sat down and I was like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to just get through all of them now. And that's what I did. And Dream Drop Distance is such a great addition to it. Yes, it adds a lot of convoluted shit, but it builds up to 3 so well, and I think it has to go there. Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm God, saying this was the most controversial thing, as if I didn't put this here, and where I'm gonna put this, that might upset some people too. But we'll get there when we get there. Yeah. Love Dream Drop Distance. I think the drop mechanic is cool. I like it. I like that you just have a little bar that's like, hey, once this runs out, you're gonna switch to the other character. You monitor it, I think it's cool. I love the story of it. It makes the franchise a lot more convoluted. Good. This is Kingdom Hearts. That's what I want. That's what I want out of Kingdom Hearts. I want it to be convoluted and all over the place. That's what I love about it. I love that it has such a wild fucking lore. I love that I get to basically study it by playing these games. Get to learn all this lore and see how it all pieces together. I love the way this series does lore. That is why I play it. Yeah, that gets A. 0.2 though. 0.2 is good. It's good. It's short though. That's the only thing, because it's basically just a demo for 3. Aqua's my favorite character though. I love playing as her. I love that it, really sets in a lot for her arc. It really it's extremely character driven on her. It's very much a character study of her. She's the only character for most of it. It is like only a 2-hour game though. But yeah, I think it fairly goes there. It was I'm even tempted to put it up here, but it's too short. It's too short to go up there. I think B is Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm gonna put it A. Great game. Great game. It absolutely deserved its Game of the Year nomination. Didn't deserve a win, which it didn't get. But absolutely deserved its nomination. The only reason I don't put it up at S is because, and it's not even this game's fault, it's the original Resident Evil 4's fault. It's because of the de-emphasis on horror. I love its world, I love its atmosphere, but it just isn't that scary. But I had a really good time with it. I had a really good time with the Separate Ways DLC that came out a few months ago. It was nice to come back to it. Yeah, it just, because it's not that scary, it doesn't do tension in the same way 2 does, and so it's just a little bit below, just a little bit. Minecraft story mode. I did play that last year. A couple years ago, 2022, I established an April Fool's tradition where the joke would be on me and I'd play Minecraft story mode. It'd be 2 years to get through it, so that year and last year when I beat it. And worry not, because we will start Minecraft story mode season 2 this year for April Fools. Don't worry, it's not over yet. This game melts my brain with how awful it is. It's so painful. It's so painful. It has no reason to be a Minecraft game. It barely plays with the world of Minecraft. It doesn't let you do what the whole point of Minecraft is all about. And the story isn't even good. It's an F. And I want to move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It can't be A. B. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog was such a delightful surprise this year. Speaking of April Fools. Such a delightful surprise. I loved it. Hold on. Just one moment. Just one moment. I think things are not in the right order here. and I want to double check. Oh no, they are. They're in the right order. Okay, never mind. Because I said I wanted these to be in the order that I beat them, and they are. I had to cross-reference it with my other list, but these are showing in the order. Murder Sonic the Hedgehog. It's so it's written so well. The art is really nice in it. It is just a fun visual novel. Just a fun, silly little thing. And it's a great time. And if you're a Sonic fan, I highly recommend it. I love it. I love it. Which maybe means it should be up here, but I don't think it can. I don't think it can be on the same level as like 2 and C and all these other things. But this is a high B. This is a B plus. But I'm not gonna. Oh, if I was like arranging within the tier as well, that would just be a ranking. If I was doing that, that'd just be a ranking. That's not a tier list. Resident Evil 6. F feels unfair. I'll go D. Resident Evil 6, if I was upset, well, not even upset, but if I docked points on 4 for not building on the horror atmosphere and like really playing with that, oh boy, does 6 deserve to be way down here. This game isn't scary at all. Not one moment of this elicits any fear. Everything in this game wants you to think that it's so cool all of the time. And it's not. This game is not cool. This has a convoluted, fucking stupid story. It's way too long. Broken it up into way too many campaigns. It could have easily had one less campaign in it. It is boring as hell. The only reason I didn't put it down in F is because if it was not part of an already established franchise, an already established horror franchise, it would have been like a decent, passable action shooter. Not even a good action shooter, but passable. It does that well, but that's not what it's supposed to be, which is why it's down here. I'd put it up here if it was, its own franchise, but it's not. It's not. It's part of this established franchise, and it should feel like one of these, but it doesn't at all. So it goes here. Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor is A. Easy A tier on that one. What a great continuation of Fallen Order. Builds on it so well. Such fun characters. Exploring the different worlds is great. I love the story in it. It's such a good time. Such a good time. I cannot recommend Jedi Survivor enough if you're a Star Wars fan. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But it doesn't quite... Like an S tier... I don't know how to describe it, but there's something that, like, you really connect with. For me, it's only be an S tier. I have to really connect with it in a certain way. I didn't quite get there with Jedi Survivor, but again, high A. High A. Just like this was a high B. This is a high A. Cosmic Shake. Cosmic Shake is a spiritual successor to Battle for Bikini Bottom. It is made by the same development team who did the remake of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it captures a lot of those vibes very well. I do think I'm gonna put it at B, just because it doesn't really do anything too special. It doesn't. It's fun. It's a fun time, and if you like SpongeBob, you're gonna have a good time with it. But it's not gonna stand out, and that's the thing with it. It just doesn't do anything to make itself stand out. But it's fun. If you grew up with SpongeBob, you're gonna like it. You're gonna have all the charm of it. Yeah. Metroid Prime Remastered. That's an A. Metroid Prime Remastered is an A. I had a great time. It was my it's not my first Metroid game. I had tried playing the original a little bit, but it's the first one I've beaten. It's the first one I've really gotten into. Metroidvanias just tend not to really do much for me. I find them to be confusing and all over the place, which, again, being all over the place is kind of the point of them. That said, I did put Resident Evil 2 in S tier. And Resident Evil 2 is very much a Metroidvania. But also, I find I'm able to grasp them better when they're in a 3D environment. And I had a lot of fun with Metroid Prime Remastered. I'm really glad they did the remaster. I'm glad I got an opportunity to play it. And I'm looking forward to remasters of 2 and 3 whenever that happens. And, of course, looking forward to 4 whenever that comes out. Kingdom Hearts 3. Alright. This is going to upset a lot of people. Probably. A lot of people would be upset to see me do what I'm about to do. I stand by it. I stand by it. I fucking love Kingdom Hearts 3. It's my favorite one. It is. I love a good culmination. I love all the plot threads coming together. I love seeing all these characters that we've seen in all these other games finally get to meet and seeing what their interactions would be like with each other. It builds on the lore so well, and I don't want to be mean to people who don't like it, who are disappointed with it, but maybe just consider that you might have let your expectations get a little too high in the long wait for it. Because I adore that game. First time I played it, I experienced every emotion that the game wanted me to feel. I cried several times. This past year, my stream playthrough was my third playthrough of this game. And yeah, it's my favorite one. Now, I would also put 2 at S tier. And I'd probably put 1 at A tier, because 1 just... it's a little rough around the edges. It was the first one. But I'd also probably put Days at... I put Days at A tier. Days has one of my favorite stories in the series, but the gameplay, I can't put it in S tier with that gameplay. But great story. Anyway, we're not here to put those games on this tier list. We're here to put these games on this tier list. And I say Kingdom Hearts 3 deserves S. I do. I fucking love that game so much. I fucking love it. Melody of Memory. I think deserves B. It's a solid rhythm game. Kingdom Hearts has such great music that I think lends itself so well to a rhythm game. It was a no-brainer to make a rhythm game for it. What holds it back a little bit is that they made its story important, but didn't give it that much story. You know? I think if they had gone further and put more story in it, it could have been up higher. Or if they went back and didn't put any story and just made it a straightforward rhythm game, could have also put it higher. But to place enough importance on it to actually have it be canon and provide lore, but to not really do that much with doing that, I feel like just should be B. But the actual rhythm game part of it, amazing. The series has amazing music, and it absolutely makes sense to do a rhythm game, and I love it. I will get into all of these after I return from a bathroom break and with my water, because I don't have my water here, and I have been talking for a while, and I need it. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got my water. Oh, that feels good. I should not have gone so long without having a sip. Where were we? Ah, yes. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I mean, this is the biggest stretch of the definition of a game that we have on here. Union Cross isn't really a game anymore. It's a cutscene compilation that's very poorly organized, might I add. To actually watch them, and by watch I mean read, in the intended chronological order, I had to have a fucking spreadsheet open telling me which ones I needed to go to. That's ridiculous. And to hinge so much important lore on a fucking mobile game is also a wild decision. And this is coming from someone who put Dream Drop Distance in A. I love the wild lore. I love it. That's what I love about the series. I've established that already. But in a mobile game, it took me like doing the streams to finally like do it. To finally go through the whole thing. And you know what? Unfortunately, I've not retained that much of it. I'm gonna give it D. I'm gonna give it D. I like the characters in it. I do. And maybe once we see how some of these things... But no, I'll put it in C, because like especially the back half of it, after the Keyblade War, there's really good stuff in there actually. But it's yeah. It's frustrating to hinge those things onto a mobile game. And I think that was just a poor decision. Spider-Man movie game goes in D. It goes in D. It's a shitty movie game. It doesn't play that good. It's not that intuitive. The bosses are frustrating. The level design is frustrating. It's poorly made. It's a poorly made game. And it goes down there. Tears of the Kingdom, though. Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year. For 2023 releases. Now, keep in mind, you do not see Baldur's Gate 3 in here. I have not beaten it. I've only put 12 hours in, which, by the way, to say only 12 hours is kind of ridiculous, but I do recognize this is Baldur's Gate 3. It's a huge game. 12 hours is barely scratching the surface. It's and I'm having a great time with it, and it could take that spot once I finally beat it, whenever that is. But as of right now, Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year. I adore it. I think it built on Breath of the Wild so well. It, despite reusing so much of it, it still manages to capture that same wonder that Breath of the Wild does, just at everything. All the new mechanics are so fun and fresh, and the story is so engaging. Yeah. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Easy S tier. Easy S tier. I love it so much. Next on the list, we have Dreamlight Valley. Disney Dreamlight Valley. So, this one, it's also kind of like, I'm stretching it, putting it on here, because it does have a story. And I did complete the initial story. But it is a live service game that it will continue to receive expansions and add-ons to build more on that story. However, what you get with the base game now that a certain number of updates have come out, is you get the first arc of that story. And what was I saying? You get the first arc of that story. And I got to a point where I finished that and credits rolled. So that's as close as I can get to say I've beaten this game. That said, I'm still playing it all the time. I've put 160 something hours into this game. It's sort of it's sort of like Animal Crossing, but it grabs me in a way that Animal Crossing couldn't. Because Animal Crossing, after a certain point, you've done it, you've done all you can, you're done. You know, like, yeah, you can keep decorating, you can try to complete your museum and whatever. And for some people, that's great. That's how they want to play it, and that works for them. But for me, I really like Animal Crossing, but I get over it at a point. I have not gotten over Dreamlight Valley yet, and I think as much as the live service model is not something we should strive for in gaming, I think that for this game it works very well. I think it's what this style of game might need. You're getting new characters that I can befriend and more quests. That's the other thing. There is a story to it. That manages to make it grab me so much more than Animal Crossing could after a certain point. Because I'm into the story and I have quests to do. And I can, I'm given specific objectives. And that's, for me, personally, I can get into it more with that. And as such, I'm going to put it in A. I really like it. I have a really good time with it. And I'm playing it, almost every day. I was playing it fucking just before I started stream. I was working on building friendships with some of the newer characters in there that I haven't leveled up friendships on all the way. So yeah, it's I love it. I love it, and I have a really good time with it. It's really fun, and it's a great game to unwind with. Spider-Man 2. Not this Spider-Man 2, but this Spider-Man 2, the movie game. I will give a B. This game gets a lot of praise for its swinging system, especially its open world. Have I streamed since they added watch streaks? I think so? Maybe? I don't remember when they did that. Also, hi Shadow Mage. This game gets a lot of praise for those things. And it's deserved for the time. It's very impressive. It has aged a bit though, and I think that's why I have to keep it at B. Just because it's I've seen what we can do with something like this. I am having a good new year. I hope you are as well. We're doing a tier list of all the games I beat in 2023. Here's how it's looking so far. We were just talking about the Spider-Man 2 tie-in game. I'm going to take a sip of water before I continue that, though. Whoa, you've just told me to take a sip of water, so I'll have another. Ah, delicious. Yeah, the game is fun though. It's especially for a movie tie-in game, it's very well made. Those things are fucking just churned out. A lot of crunch, a lot of meat that release date, and I'm glad we don't see them as much as we used to anymore. But Spider-Man 2 was an example of how to do that right. Ooh. Rechain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Oh, God. It goes C. It goes C only because the story is so good. If I was going only on gameplay, easy D tier. But I do love the story of Chain of Memories. I have not beaten the original, but I would say it's better. It took me so long to beat this. We finally, we were streaming through all these, in release order, and I gave up on Rechain of Memories long ago. And then it took me 2 event streams. 2. I did a 12-hour stream earlier last year to just see, how much progress I can make. And then it took my affiliate versary stream to finally beat it. Or at least finally beat Riku's story in it. Because the gameplay is so obtuse. The card-based combat, especially in the 3D environment that the remake provides, it's bullshit. It's awful. It is an awful way to design combat. And I think if this game just had normal combat, like 1 and 2, or even like Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance, if it had one of those combat systems, I think it could be up here. It has a really good story. It does. I love, especially like stuff with Namine and Riku Replica. Like, those are great characters, and I love the work done with them here. But it's just no. That gameplay hurts it so much. Next up, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. All the complaints I had about this, with how much like lore is shoved into a mobile game, so much stronger. So much stronger. I left this game running open pretty much any time I wasn't using my computer, just letting it level grind. Just so that I could beat it. It's so poison. And the lore it adds, so far, doesn't really seem worth all that effort. It hasn't really added that much to the series. Now, I will recognize it is the most recent installment in the series. Its conclusion. Its final update was the last thing in the series to come out. So there's certainly time to build on it. But even within that game, it didn't really feel like they were doing anything important to build off of that much. So it's not worth the months, the literal months that it took me to play it. Thank you for the follow, Aubrey Ligon. Welcome. How are you doing? As someone who loves this series, I put 3 up here. I put Dream Drop Distance up here. This just doesn't do it. This doesn't do it. I want to be proven wrong. I want to change my mind on this. But with it doesn't even have real gameplay, also. Not really. It's auto-battling. You leave it running to auto-battle and level grind until you can finally do the story mission it gives you. And then you do that again. And you auto-battle on the story mission. And then you get a few cutscenes. And then you do it all over. It's deep. Fallout New Vegas? Alright. Don't get mad at me. It's a good game. It is a good game. But as someone who did not grow up with it, It's and I don't have nostalgia goggles for it. It's fine. I enjoy the story, and you know what? Maybe I need to do another playthrough or two, take the different paths, see more of the lore, take it all in. I feel like I can imagine that would improve my opinion on it. But as it stands right now, you know, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I'm looking at what I have on this tier, and now that I've like kind of seen where the limits are on this a bit more, I'm gonna move Crisis Core down to C. Anyway, it's a Bethesda game. That's what it comes down to. It's a Bethesda game, and it has all the problems of a Bethesda game. You know, it's good for a Bethesda game, but it's still a Bethesda game. The Alone in the Dark prologue. Took longer to download than it did to play. It took 10 minutes to play it, and I was thorough. I was as thorough as I could be, and it still took 10 minutes. It doesn't really set the tone, I don't think, that it wants to. And I know it's basically just supposed to be like a little demo for the full game, and I'm still looking forward to the full game. I think it did enough to get me interested in it, but it didn't do enough to be its own thing, to deserve to really be like a playable experience. It could have just been a trailer, you know. You get like 2 puzzles and that's it. And I don't think it deserves, you know, that much. Still looking forward to the full release. And I will stream that, and I do not. And as I mentioned earlier, I do not commit. I try not to commit too much to saying specifically I'll stream certain things, but it is something I will commit to. Mostly because I played this on stream and was like, okay, well, if I do that, I kind of have to play the full game. Was sort of my stance on it. That comes out in like a couple weeks, doesn't it? Hold on. Yeah, in 2 weeks from today, that comes out. Okay, cool. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Movie tie-in game. Decent for a movie tie-in game, but still a movie tie-in game. I give it a C. Lego Batman, a video game. A Lego game. I really like Lego games. It's fun, and I want to play the other ones, but as it stands, it's probably the weakest of the early Lego games. You know, you got Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, you've got Lego Indiana Jones The Original Adventures. Those are A tier. Lego Batman, fun, B tier. It does not have, you know, as much content as those do. Back to the Future, the game, is also B tier. I love Back to the Future. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Love those movies so much. Some of my favorite movies. And this is one of Telltale's best games. But it's still one of Telltale's best games. You know, they have good games, but I'll put it up to A, actually. It tells a very fun story with these characters. It feels respectful to the legacy of the series, and it actually it does do more than your typical Telltale game. It isn't just like watch a cutscene, pick an option, which can be fun, but does not do a lot with gameplay. But no, it's a bit more of a point and click, and it's a good one, and yeah, I think A is fair. Oh, Tales of Adventure. Alright. So remember earlier when I was saying that Metroidvanias don't really gel with me when they are in a 2D space? It's a decent Metroidvania. I will give it that. But I don't do well with them. And I followed a guide to the T for this one. So I did end up 100%ing it.
Hi, doggy.
Just because I was following that guide. Hanging Shindig T. Thank you for the follow. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Sorry, I've been talking for a while now, and I need to stop to sip water more often than earlier. It's a decent Metroidvania. I don't vibe with them super well, and C is the best I can give it with that. Now, Sonic Labyrinth. Hey, I have an idea. You know that video game we have about that guy who goes fast? Let's design a whole game around him going slow. Sonic Labyrinth sucks. It's so hard to control. If you want to go fast, you have to spin dash, and then he's pretty much uncontrollable when he's spin dashing, but you're on a time limit. And you have to scour these obtuse levels to try to figure out where the shit you need is. It's bad. It's a bad time. Sonic the Fighters. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B on Sonic the Fighters. I think it does. Yeah, it's a decent fighting game. I feel like I could really get to know it better if I actually played like one-on-one with someone else, but I did not. I just did one character's campaign, or not even campaign, arcade mode, and I played it on the easiest you possibly could to make sure I could get through it. But it's fun. I like how exaggerated everything is. It's a very fun aesthetic, and I could easily see that being a hit in an arcade. Sonic Schoolhouse. We got a couple edutainment titles here. I mean, it's just like yeah, if I was like 5, I'd probably love it. But I'm not 5. It's fine, I guess, but really? Especially when we have Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World. Which actually, okay, Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World isn't really that much of an entertainment title. It's more of a little minigame collection. But it is on the Sega Pico, which was designed almost exclusively for edutainment titles. But it's Game World is as such fun little cleverly designed mini games, and it has wonderful art in it. See, the Pico games are like a book. They're designed to be a book.
Hi, doggy.
And you have all these pages of the book. I like to chill 999, and thank you for the follow. I'm getting wary about all these new followers that aren't saying shit. You're saying something though. Hello. Hi. That is easing my mind a little bit. Sorry, there's just, you know, fucking a lot of bot shit happening on Twitch, and I've heard it's been a problem again recently. So I was worried that I had received 3 new followers in the last 10 minutes who hadn't said anything. But you have said something now. So hello. How are you? I suppose that doesn't entirely disqualify you from being a bot, but your chances of not being a bot are better. I don't want to. I don't want to be accusatory of anyone. It's just the landscape of Twitch at the moment is worrisome. So, welcome. I'm glad that you are not a bot. No, you say you are. I believe you are being facetious here. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. We're just here doing a tier list of all the games I beat last year. We were just talking about Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World, which is a very obscure game for a very obscure console. I'm good. Thank you for asking. What was I saying? Yes, all of the Pico games are they're like little books, and there's a sensor in the machine to know which page you're on, and it all lines up with that. It's very cool technology, especially for the time. And it's mostly used for edutainment stuff. This is a little cute minigame collection, and all the art on those pages are nice, and I feel like it deserves some points for that. I'm gonna put it in C though, just because it's not much. It's nothing super special, but it is a cool little piece of the history. Sonic 3D Blast is not that bad. I feel like it gets really like lumped in to a lot of the worst Sonic games, like Sonic 06. And it's not great by any means, but I think, put it next to like Pale Sky Patrol. Whoa, hold on. I've just remembered 8-Bit Sonic 2 is in here. Or not 8-Bit Sonic 2. 8-Bit Sonic 2 is down here. 8-Bit Sonic 1 is here. I feel like 8-Bit Sonic 1 deserves to go up, actually. But no, it cannot be on the same level as 16-Bit Sonic 1. Oh. No, this will be D. It's like on the threshold though. It's a high D, but it is D. It cannot be on the same level as 8-Bit Sonic 1 though. It's not an F tier though. It's not 8-Bit Sonic 2. It's not Sonic Labyrinth. It's not that good. Not that good. Handles like ass. Definitely. But it doesn't really deserve to be down here with the worst ones. Sonic Blast does though. Sonic Blast with Sonic 2D Blast, if you will, definitely deserves to be down there. That shit sucks. Ugly sprite work, terrible level designs. It's a bad time all around. Christmas Nights into Dreams is a charming little demo of Nights into Dreams. I've not played the actual Nights into Dreams, but we played Christmas Nights into Dreams because there is an unlockable mini game in that one where you play as Sonic. And as someone who is streaming every Sonic game, we had to, of course, get that in there. It was a lot of work to unlock that, and I had to do it twice because I learned that the Sega Saturn has shitty internal memory and likes to just lose your saves sometimes. So I bought a memory card and redid it. Because we were super close to unlocking it before. But Nights is fun. It did its job. It made me like consider getting the full game. It plays so weird, but it's It's good. It's good. Keep in mind, since you just mentioned Alan Wake, keep in mind, this is Alan Wake 1 remastered. I have not even started Alan Wake 2 yet. I have a huge backlog of games right now, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. But I have nothing to say about that right now. I've not touched it at all. I mean, the first one is the last game that I beat last year. So, Spider-Man. 2018 Spider-Man. Oh my god. I fucking love that game. Doing that replay before 2 came out. Fucking love Spider-Man. They get every characterization so right. The emotional beats of it hit so hard. I fucking love that game so much. Another one that I've played through 3 times already, and still I could go again. I love it so much. It's amazing. Oh yeah, like I said, that was my 3rd playthrough, and if you go to that stream, I'm also sobbing. Fucking amazing game. I'm trying not to. I've noticed what I'm doing right now is I'm rushing myself. We don't have that many left, and I think subconsciously I'm like, hey, we can be done almost. I'm getting kind of tired. We can be done almost. But what unfortunately is the side effect of that is I'm spending less time talking about each game, and I don't want to do that because there are lots of things to say about some of these games, and I don't want to do them a disservice. I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit here. The Sims busting out. So specifically, this is the GBA release. That's the one I played. So, if you played the console release, it's kind of just The Sims, but optimized for a controller. The one on GBA has a story to it, and it has quests to follow, and it's a good time. It's a really good time. It's very charming. 1 out of 10, really. Really? Well, hey, that's your opinion. And you're entitled to it. But I had a blast with it. I played it a lot as a kid, but never beat it. And I finally did this time. And I had a nice time with it. I think it fits comfortably in a B tier. Fighters Mega Mix, I'm gonna put in C. Just comparing it to our other fighting game we have here, Sonic the Fighters. Sonic the Fighters is very cohesive. It has its own identity, and it's very exaggerated, and it's very fun with that. Fighters Mega Mix, its whole point is that it doesn't have its own identity. They combined the rosters of 2 fighting games they had and threw in a lot of other shit. And now the whole reason we played it was because Bark and Bean are in it. That said, it's still very fun, and I like it. It had a lot more to offer with its multiple arcade modes, whereas Sonic the Fighters only had 1. I think I'm gonna bring Sonic the Fighters down, actually. Sorry. It's just as I'm thinking about it more, I'm like, oh, actually, these are kind of comparable. Like, I think this one is more fun, but this has more to offer, and that kind of puts them on the same level, sort of. And if this is down here, this needs to be down there with it, because this shouldn't be up there. You know? So I think Sorry, I just want to keep things in order. In played order. So I think I'm actually gonna put that there. But I think they both go here. And again, C is still, yeah, that's alright. Sonic R. We got Sonic R music playing right now. Sonic R. Yeah, it's just, they didn't. Hold on. This does go up here actually, because I'm looking back at what we have on C. I'm looking back at some of these others we have on C, and I'm like, no, these deserve to be up there. But Sonic R does have some great music. I really like Sonic R's music, and we're jamming to some of it right now. But the tracks are nothing. Doesn't have that much to offer. And the mechanics are... It's not balanced. You can't really play as whoever you want. I wanted to play as Amy. I like Amy. But if you want to win, you have to play as Sonic. And that's not how you design a racing game. That's not how that should work. So I think C is fair. And Supersonic, yeah. I didn't even unlock Supersonic. We beat it, but I didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds. Detective Pikachu. Once again, just like my disclaimer with Alan Wake, this is talking about the first one. I've not played the second yet. Also on my backlog. Huge backlog. Huge right now. There's so many games. So many games came out last year. And I didn't even, like how many of what I have on here, how many of these are actually, like, released last year? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None in this tier. None there, none there. 6, 7. Only 7 of these. Only 7 of these released last year. Detective Pikachu. I had fun with it. I thought the story was charming. And it probably could be higher if it wasn't for the gameplay. The gameplay of Detective Pikachu is... It's so monotonous at times. E seems low. Also, I don't have E. It goes D to F. But I am contemplating D, but I'm also looking at what else is in D, and I'm like, no. Because I still had a delightful time with it. I enjoyed it enough to want to play the sequel. I've not heard great things about the sequel, but I still want to play it. But it has one huge issue. One huge issue. It holds your hand way too much. Way too much. For a game about being a detective and solving mysteries, it never actually lets you solve anything. You don't get to. You don't get to solve a thing. It gives you all the answers. And if it wasn't for, like, being interested in these characters, I would have given up on it. Which is probably also why the movie tells the story better than the game does. So, yeah. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 goes in A. It does not quite reach the emotional core that the first one does. It makes too many unnecessary changes to the source material, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Harry being Venom. I see what they did with the story, and I don't hate it. I do not hate it. I just don't love it. I see why they wanted to tell the story the way they did. But Norman, I was actually just about to get into Norman. He's characterized so wrong. He cares too much about Harry. That's not Norman. Norman couldn't give a shit about Harry. I think the first game, despite Harry not even being in it, did it better. Because I was a bit strong when I said he couldn't give a shit. Because it makes sense for him to want to save him, right? To keep him alive. To care enough for that. But he cares about him too much here. He doesn't care about who Harry is. That's a better way to say it. It makes sense he wants to keep him alive. He wants his son to carry on the legacy of the Osborns or whatever, right? But he doesn't like who he is. And I think 2 doesn't really get that right. I'm saying all this. I still put it in A. I had a really good time with it. It builds so much in the gameplay. It builds so much on what the first game does, and I am pumped for the third one. It just, if 1 played like 2, it'd be the perfect Spider-Man game. Oh my god. And 1 is still in S, so just imagine how much better it would be. So yeah, that's my stance on that. We're getting to the end here. We don't have that many left. Overcooked. Overcooked, I actually played co-op with my partner when they were here to visit a little while back. We played through the campaign together, and it's a fun time. It is a joy. I don't think I can put it in A, not alongside some of those. But B feels fair. B feels fair. It is a fun co-op game. I should play Overcooked 2 at some point. It was a nice experience to play those together. And I feel like I'm not actually saying anything specific about the game. The mechanics are fun. I like how... Sorry. Let me reset my camera. Hold on. Much better. I feel like the chaos of the co-op is balanced very well. It doesn't get out of hand. I recommend it. It's a great game to play with friends. Speaking of playing games with friends, another one that I competitively played against my partner while they were here is SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants, which is a very charming party game. I'm gonna give it C. It's a high C though. It's a high C. Like a fruit punch. It's a high C. If you like SpongeBob, it's fun to play those characters. The whole kind of premise of it is there's kind of like a story where you're doing the mini games to compete for roles in a new Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy special, and whoever gets the most points across 3 challenges gets the role in the episode. And then at the end of it, you get to watch the episode, and each character, depending on which character got the role, it's a little different, and it's fun. It's fun and silly. and it's a good way to spend a few hours with somebody. You get to compete, you get to cooperate. You know, the mini games are very Mario Party-esque. I wouldn't say as good as Mario Party. Well, maybe as good as some Mario Parties, but not as good as most Mario Parties. Probably even better than some Mario Parties. But if you like SpongeBob, it's fun. And that was like, you know, that's like a PS2 game. Sonic Superstars. I'm gonna give it B, but I was let down. I was let down a little bit by it. I liked it. I did. But when we had Sonic Mania, and that was such an amazing like celebration of classic Sonic, and then this is what we get for a new 2D Sonic. Some of the later levels, it started to redeem itself a bit. You know, there's some very fun stuff later, but like maybe the first half of the game, I was just like, oh man, this is it. Compared to like great games like Mania and 2 and CD, this is what we get. But the later levels are cool. They introduce some cool mechanics later on. And bosses as well. A lot of cool bosses later in the game. It's not a $60 game. It is not. And I was open to it at first. Because I was like, well, yeah, just because it's like a 2D platformer, you know, don't devalue a 2D platformer. You put a lot of work into it. It can still be worth a lot. But this wasn't. This just wasn't. It's way too short for that. I beat it in one sitting in like 5 hours, you know? And especially you put it next to Mario Wonder, which came out like the same month, maybe even the same week, I think. And it's just like, really, I haven't played Mario Wonder yet. I'm very much looking forward to it though. Again, big backlog, lots of games on it. It's just like, you know, look at what Mario Wonder does. They add all this like cool stuff and it's so stylized, and then Sonic Superstars is just feels kind of cheap in comparison. And like their whole big gimmick, the whole big gimmick of Superstars is, oh, but when you get a Chaos Emerald, it'll give you a special power. Except you can't really do anything special with these powers because we can't guarantee that you'll get a Chaos Emerald, so you still have to be able to get through the levels without these abilities. And it just kind of feels like they don't matter at that point. Last game I beat in 2023 was Alan Wake Remastered. And I am yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. I think it's a very unique take on survival horror. It's a lower A, but I think still an A. It's 6 out of 10 is what you said. Okay. It's not for everyone, and I recognize that. I could tell like this would not be for everybody playing it. Because it does not. It does a lot of things that a traditional survival horror does not do, and if that's what you want going into it, if you want a Resident Evil going into Alan Wake, you're not going to get that. But I think it uses its unique approach very smartly. The driving element I think is the weirdest to me. I don't it doesn't really feel like it fits into a survival horror, but I think the mechanic of having to weaken every single enemy before you can damage them adds a lot of tension, especially once you start getting swarmed with enemies and you have to be very smart and maybe you do have to run away, you know. And that's the thing. Survival horrors. Here's the thing. I play a lot of RPGs, and that has ingrained into me that I want to fight every enemy, because in an RPG you get experience for it. And even though I can logically recognize that in a survival horror I don't have to do that because it's not built on experience, that's still kind of how I am. And well, also, even actually usually in a survival horror they drop things, and so you still want those resources. Alan Wake is one of the few survival horrors I've played where I've been like, nope, I need to run away. Because you really have to strategize about it. If you have too many, you cannot break them down. You just have to get away. And also, one praise I will give this is, well, actually, before I give this, let me explain it a bit. Explain my stance a bit. I'm not a fan of jump scares. I think they're cheap. I think jump scares are a cheap tactic in horror. It's like if a comedian like a stand-up comedian climbed off the stage and started tickling the audience. Oh, I made you laugh. I'm a good comedian. You know, that's what a jump scare is. Oh, you're scared. You're scared. A good horror. I scared you. No. But Alan Wake, I think, actually is a rare example of something that uses jump scares well, because it doesn't just scare you and then move on. It scares you and then makes you react. You know, you have to compose yourself before you can, you know, and that's part of it. I think it's very well done to force you to like get a hold of yourself and gain your composure before you're fucked up by an enemy. I think it does that very well. So, yeah, I had a good time with it. I'm looking forward to playing 2. I've heard very, very good things about 2. I'll play it someday. One day. Again, big backlog. But yeah, almost 2 hours later, here's my tier list of everything I beat in 2023. Drink Wampter. I have to go refill my Wampter to drink it. I also need to go to the bathroom, so I'll do both of those things, but not at the same time. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And I have refilled my water. And I have drank it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is the final tier list. Here's all the games I beat this year. In our S's we got Resident Evil 2 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2018. And in our F's we have Sonic 2, Sonic 2 8-bit, Sonic 2 8-bit, Minecraft Story Mode, Sonic Labyrinth, Sonic Blast. To be very clear, it's Sonic 2 8-bit. Sonic 2 16-bit is comfortably an A. This game is shit, though. So, before I wrap this up, we do have these two high, this high tier and this low tier. And they have 4 games in them each. And I think we still need to pick a best and a worst. Let's start with the worst. End on a high note. Sonic 2 8-bit, Minecraft Story Mode, Sonic Labyrinth, Sonic Blast. I want to pretend this is a hard choice. Pad it out a little bit, build the anticipation. But it's Sonic 2 8-bit. There's no other option. It is Sonic 2 8-bit. That game sucks. And that is easily the worst game I played this year. Now, picking our S tier, these are all S tier, but picking the best of the best, that is a bit tougher. I love all of these games. I'll say right now it's not Resident Evil 2 Remake. Love Resident Evil 2 Remake. It is the lowest of the S tiers. Sorry. Love ya. These are all right here. These all have such strong cases. Kingdom Hearts 3 provides such an amazing culmination of that first saga, of that Xehanort saga. Bringing all those story threads together, but still building for what's to come. So many emotional beats. And also emotional beats for Spider-Man. Such a great adaptation of that material that really understands its characters. And then Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom builds on Breath of the Wild so beautifully. With all those new mechanics. And you get to work with the familiar, but it's not familiar at the same time. Because it's still so new and so fresh. It's hard. See, the other thing is, both of these were my third playthroughs of these games. So, as much as I love them, they're not, the fresh, new, exciting thing anymore. And I have to make sure I don't just say Tears of the Kingdom just because it's the fresh, new, exciting thing. And with that in mind, I'm gonna say Spider-Man. Oh, can I though? With Tears of the Kingdom, it's so fucking... no. It's Tears of the Kingdom. I take it back, it's Tears of the Kingdom. Best game I played this year. You're so close, Spider-Man. So close, Spider-Man. But it's Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, I should clarify. Best game I beat. Best game I beat. Because I've started Baldur's Gate 3. I just haven't beat it yet. I haven't played enough of it to really decide. But I am loving it so far. Yeah. That is that, though. That is that. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Happy New Year. It's a great way to start the year. Look back on the old one. I'm excited for, to have a whole new list to do next year. This was great. This was fun to look back on. Let's see who's live right now that we can raid. Because I am done. We did it. There's nothing else. Nothing else to do. That's it. I already looked at my recap. Alright, oh, are they doing together? They are doing together. Alright. Let's raid Greg. Let's raid our good pal Greg, who is also streaming with our other good pal Big. Playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Alright, thank you, everybody who came by. Whether or not you interacted, it is always appreciated. I plan to come back on Thursday to finally continue Half-Life. So I hope to see y'all there. Until then, give Greg some love and enjoy the Pokemon Infinite Fusion going on over here. Alright, bye!